Yeah, you and Ozil, listen, you're about to get a bag of trolls, a bag of bear shits.
Yeah, I had people like you heard. Obviously, Ozil's in the title, so bag of trolls, a bag of abuse coming, and I already saw it in the fucking comments already. To be honest, I had to tell someone to calm down. Let me see what he was saying. Back to back, yo, all of this, back to back, back to back. What's going on? What's going on? Back to back,
He's on.
Man, look, this one here. Listen to DG. He's a wise kid.
Yeah. Shout out King, man. I forgot the rest of his name. Shout out to him, man. He seems to agree with my take on Ozil, man. So
it is. You know what? I was actually gonna say, yeah, we need a name for this show, fam. And Leon just said Dream Team. I can't lie, that sounds good, but we need to
still, but I don't know. We have to leave it to them lot to think of something, man. Because we've tried the deluded and Turkish and deluded. It's up to them, man. You better to decide than the people, them, man.
Yeah, 100%. You guys give us a suggestion, like when the video processes, put it in the comments after. Don't put it in the comments now. Have a little think about it and let us know in the comments what you guys want to call this show, because it needs a name, man. It needs a name. Like Turkish and deluded and Turkish. The show needs a name.
Yeah, it needs something.
Logo, all of that. Brand, all of that. Do you get it?
Turkey, what a guy.
Over 100 people. You know what I might as well do? Over 100 people here. Hit the like button, people. I swear I uploaded it already. Let me just check one sec. I've got a new intro coming, people. A new intro. I think I can play it. I think I can play it here. Big up Ozza. Yeah, ozza.co.uk. If you need anything done, go to him. Make sure, because the work is top notch. Let me see if this plays now. Let me see if it plays.
That's sick. Shout out. Sick. I might have to shout Dunny, but I can't lie. I need one.
Shout him, bro. I'm telling you, his attention to detail is mad. At the beginning, he was asking me about mood boards and what I like and this. I was like, where's this going? Fam, look where it went, bro.
Like it's something right up my street, bro. Like, that is hard, man. Shout out to my man. Plug him in.
Over.co.uk. I'm going to put the link in the description as well below, so make sure you guys go check him out and whatnot. Let's see what it's saying anyway. Let's see what the
people them are feeling it, man.
Yeah, trust me, hard claps, all of that, road to 27K, fire, all of that. Like I said, ozza.co.uk. He's going to see this video eventually, because he reached out to me saying he likes my stuff, he watches my videos. He'd like to have a little say on it. But yeah, obviously, we touched on it at the beginning. Deluded. You talked about him before, obviously, on your channel. So if you haven't seen it already, go over there and watch it on the Deluded channel. He's discussed it before, but I haven't yet. I tend to stay away from these Ozil news, because you guys already know what I think.
They're on to you, man.
Yeah, they're on to me about it. They still want to hear more from me, even though you guys already know what it is. But dude, what are you saying? So there's two different things. There's this Al Nassr bid of 5 million. Is there any truth to it? Can he even move? Like, what's going on with that?
I mean, I don't know if there's any truth in that, Carl. We've seen them links before. He's clearly not on the Middle East for obvious reasons. He can't go China. If the American, I can see him going to America one day, but not at least till this contract's done. Over the weekend, we saw him even linked with Juventus on a free transfer, which it would be great for him in theory, probably just paper talk. And he's been linked with Fenerbahce, which you would know more than me about that club. And he's obviously been linked with the Middle East. So we clearly want him out of the club. One day I'd like us to know what going on, because you can't, regardless what we feel about Ozil, yeah, Arteta can't go from using a man 10 games and then not at all after the restart. Obviously, we can say he's not done something or it's the wages, but the club need to tell us. It's like even today, you know, what I can't understand is he's got his 8 mil, people are going to laugh at him and whatnot, but it's not his fault. But at the same time, it's almost like the club are telling us they don't want him. He's apparently not going to be in the Premier League squad. He's not in the Europa League thing, but he's always in the new shirt thing. So it don't make sense. Is he part of the club or not? It's like you're using him for the marketing stuff, but you're not using him on the field. Now that's great, but kind of tell us what the fans are at, man. The 8 million stuff, he's due that money, so it's not a problem. But as you know, people just see Ozil and money and go away from just having a legit opinion and just witch hunter, man. So it's there's nothing really to talk on with this. We've been down this street, really, bro.
Do you believe it in a bid though from Saudi Arabia? You just think it's just a
It probably did. There probably has been them offers, but he's not on it. Like he's not on it, so it's not gonna get anywhere. Like no matter how much money you give Donny, he said he's not on it. Like I don't know if he wants to. You know, he's got a Turkish wife. Does he want to do the Fenerbahce thing? I can see that. He's got business interests in America. I can see that, but he don't want to do it. Apparently, he's still talking of fighting his way in the team. Now, obviously, if you're not registered, it don't mean, regardless of how much you work, you're not going to play no football. The good thing is, you know, there's 2.5 months in January. So does he feel, you know what, 2.5 months? I've been alienated for longer than that, really. I get my head down. Arteta might put me in the side. I don't know, but it don't seem like I can't see a positive way out of this, or a way that saves face of the club and Ozil. Like, how do we move forward from this? Really, like it's jarring.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to fall over the line with it because the contract's just going to end and it's going to part ways, and then we get a MESUT OZIL book or something later on down the line where we find out what happens, and you know, in a sense, from his perspective, because we haven't really even heard everything from his perspective. Obviously, in the contracts and whatnot, potentially he might not be able to talk about it in the future. Because Wenger's book. What day is it today? It's the 12th, isn't it?
I pre-ordered that, but it should be coming tomorrow.
Yeah, come tomorrow. I'm interested to really see. Yeah, we should do something on that after we read it. Does he come out and tell the truth about it, or does he still protect the best?
You know he's a gentleman. Wenger's not going to come out. He might do a little kiss and tell thing, but you know Wenger's not going to come out and free it up.
Yeah, Ozil does, because like I said, hopefully it's not in his contract where he can't come out. At the same time, it's going to be from his perspective, you know. We want to hear others too. But like you said, we want some clarity on the matter. You know, as much as I've been a critic of his over the last couple of years, 2-3 years, but we need some clarity one way or the other. But we're not going to get it. We're going to fall over the line like we did with doing the contract in the first place, coming to the last months where we could talk to other teams, that we was essentially held to ransom. And the 8 million thing, it's not his fault. You know, the laughing emoji in the title is because of Arsenal. It's because of more evidence
yourselves,
of stupidity. Like, who does that? Like, you know, like 8 mil, putting that in like for a 31-year-old, you've got to be pretty certain he's going to be doing his thing. And that certainty was not there at that time. Like, even at that time, where he was performing pretty good, it wasn't guaranteed a 31-year-old is going to deserve 8 million to stay on. You know, and now when you're looking at the situation, it looks bad on us again, because we're scrimping and saving for money, for the transfer window. Everyone's praising Kroenke because what? He pumped in 20.
He finally put money in towards bettering his club, you know. It's like
it was that 20-30 mil, fam.
It's basic stuff. It's like, listen, I'll give you know what, I'm all up for giving man credit where due. I'm anti Kroenke. I'm always bashing him. So all right, cool. I'll cut him some slack. He gave some transfers, but you know, this has been wanting for years. Should I really sit here and praise a man that's finally addressed an area we knew we needed to address before he took over? Before, I don't like, you know me, I don't like the Partey and Vieira ones, but since Vieira busts out, we ain't addressed that area. Should I praise a man for finally addressing that if he really wants Arsenal to move forward based on what his son says? It don't make sense for me. But if people feel he deserves his credit for that transfer, then who am I or you to criticize that? But I don't think it's a praise thing. Like you said, it's even 30. I was saying 45.
Yeah. Like I mean, like the praise thing, it's like it comes from them people that say trust the process. You know, they now can use that little cash injection as something to say trust the process. When you know,
I don't trust what other people are doing in relation to this process thing. Like I don't know what God. Like I'll give Edu some credit because, you know, I was looking at him if a midfielder didn't come in. On another hand, I would say, you know what, you and Arteta, you've had more control in transfers. We've been told that, you know, the article came out. Why didn't we get this done earlier? Why didn't we bring in a creative man? You know, we might sit here and talk in November about creative issues. There's no use, you know, we have to fix it in-house. Why isn't it? If you know you're not going, same way he said Partey for months, you know, we were looking for Partey. You knew Ozil weren't going to be involved. You know, even with Ozil, there's a creativity issue. Now, I cut man some slack, like you said, the money, the COVID, the targets, all of these things. Why not address that area? If you know you're not going to reintegrate Ozil, if you know Joe Willock is not ready, for example, and you know you're not going to fix it, then what's happened? You know, we ain't seen it fixed in-house. We're seeing our star man on big money or whatever you want to call him, just not in cup finals, let alone a match day squad. You know, is Arsenal of that level where we can afford to leave our highest earner out away from Ozil? Just the topic of highest earner? I don't know. That's a Champions League winning club to me, but we're far from that. It's a bit of a joke. It's the same old, same old. For me, I'm happy with Partey, but like you said, can we trust the process of people above us or around Arteta better yet?
Do you what? In your opinion, forget everything for a sec. If it was you in charge of the decision, do you think there's a way back for him?
What for Ozil?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because you know I'm a fan of Ozil, and it's not even a being a fan thing. It's like, what am I, if I'm Arteta right now, how am I gonna fix this creative issues? I'm looking at it, you know, Ceballos and Partey, excluding Xhaka for a bit. Ceballos and Partey probably be my pivot, you know. And then you're looking at a Willian in there. I'm looking at how I'm not saying Ozil must start or I'm going to start Ozil week in, week out. But in the bench, on the bench, at least I'm going to have to use with inconsistent Ozil, a hot and cold Willian, you know, a tried and untested Joe Willock. I'm all for using all of them at least until we get to January, and then we can evolve it. You know, you got Emil Smith Rowe. You know, you're looking in the creative hole, and there's a gap in our team, and no one's really claimed it right now. No one looks glaringly obvious. Like, I'm of the belief you go Ceballos in there now. You know, is it Xhaka and Partey, and you go Ceballos? But I feel I would give him a chance. Like, I'd use him for the last 20. There's some role, at least for the end of this year, because I just see it's not my money, so I don't care. But it just doesn't make sense when we regularly see the figures that Ozil is getting and not being involved in the matchday squad. I get why he's not. You hear the club save money, but if we're gonna sign Partey and we can't fix something, we might as well, bro.
Well, what about can you play him in this formation though? Because that's important right now. Where?
We're getting the FA Cup. Like, I don't think consistently. That's why I said he's a bench guy for me. You know, if we're playing, who did we play? Was it Sheffield United? We played someone that was just sitting back and we couldn't really split them open. Them games there, you know, he's on the squad. That's me. Second off, if they're still on that and we need to open up gaps, fling him on. I'm not saying it's Ozil of 2013 where, you know, man, I have wingers, I have creative mids are having to go out wide to fit him in and all of this. I'm not for building the squad around Ozil. I think he can play the system, because did we not play 3 at the back against Chelsea when we beat them in the FA Cup and he was there? So there's some isolated incidences. I just feel you can't consistently put him in there. If you're asking me if I'm a manager, job on the line, 38 games, is Ozil of today going to be a key player? No, but he'd be in and around the squad. He wouldn't be alienated. He'd be alienated, but not to this extent if it was me.
Yeah. I listen, because of the lack of creativity, you're going to get the questions, isn't it? Like, it happened under Emery too. You know, he was leaving Ozil out, he wasn't creating enough, and then everyone was saying, like, what's going on? And
Ozil was the Messiah. When he's there, it's the next man.
Yeah, and that mixed with a bit of the Xhaka captaincy fiasco kind of led to his demise in the end, because the pressure became too much. And, you know, at the same time, we are winning more games now. I think we're a bit more consistent in terms of performance level now than we was under Emery. And in a sense, it justifies the decision to leave him out, regardless of the less created chances. It justifies it until those results start turning, because they will turn. And I don't think that they're going to turn because we live in Ozil. They're going to turn because we don't have enough quality and we didn't do business in the transfer window. The stats do not lie. At the same time, you can manipulate stats all you like, but they do not lie.
They don't lie, fam.
So getting pressurized in the second half of games against West Ham and against Sheffield United, where they're taking more
shooting enough.
It's not good enough. So eventually that's going to come back and bite us the same way it did Emery. Now, with us,
the thing about fans, bro. Sorry to cut you off, but that's the thing about our fans, bro. It's like, you remember, like, I won't say this time a year ago, but remember when Emery was going on that winning run, and they, like you said, the stats were there, the cracks were there, but fans are too happy to just find the storyline. You can't. Very few fans want to be neutral. It's like, man could have just said Emery's winning games, but we're getting lucky. Same thing with Arteta, and it's almost the flip side. It's like, people didn't really rate Emery, then they saw he's the guy. People are calling Arteta the guy. Is it going to be negative when these results turn, like you said? It's like, we just need to see things for what they are. It's like, we're up there for stats covered and distance and all of this. You know, shot, lack of clean sheet, shots, creativity. Like you said, stats don't lie. And we've got enough in the side to do better. But what was you saying, man? I cut you off.
No, yeah, to be honest, I forgot, but what's this comment here basically reminded me, because you said your ideal 3 would be Partey, Xhaka, and Ceballos, right?
In an ideal world, it'd be now. Do you know what? Out of that midfield 3, for me, it is just the only 2 I'd play if my heart was on it would be Partey and Ceballos. With the context of Arteta, I'm probably saying Ceballos in that 10, Xhaka and Partey.
Yeah, and Soul Drummer, regular watcher, big up everyone in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. But yeah, he was saying Saka playing as offensive number 8 or 10, and that's my ideal. I'd put Saka in front of Ceballos and Partey. I think
something like that, bro.
Yeah, they can both break the lines, and Saka's actually good with his back to goal in the middle. He can turn either way.
Tight spaces as well. That's all you need. Make decisions quickly. That's all you need. Like, he's not gonna be Phil Foden, but he can do a thing for us at least until we adjust this. That's what I'm on. That's what I mean. Whether it's Saka there, Ozil, Willian, just fix it in house. Like, and what I don't want Arsenal to do is as good as City are as a team, they're never just going to rely on Kevin De Bruyne to be the creative hub. There's other men buzzing about. That's the thing with Arsenal. We look at Gabriel to change us defensively. We're going to look at Partey to just dominate every midfield game when it's not possible. You know, we look at Aubameyang to make the difference. And to be fair, if he's not scoring 9 times out of 10, we're not winning games. But it's a collective thing, man.
You say, you know what? It's funny because Saka, since he's burst onto the scene, you don't really know what position he is because he's played so many and he's played them so well. But you say he's not Phil Foden, and you're right. But I think he can become that player in terms of, you look at Phil Foden, he's in a Man City side that have been playing fluidly for years. He's had the same coach for years. He's come up in and out. You know, he's touched in and out the first team for a couple of years before getting thrown in. Now,
what I mean by Phil Foden, bro, is he's not a natural. He's played 10, he's played midfield, but you wouldn't have him down as a natural 10. He can do it, he can thrive. He's even better than a number of 10s in our side.
You can see it.
Yeah, he can become it. I think his position's out wide, bro. But yeah,
I wouldn't. You know what? Again, moving into the season, ideally Saka left, up top, and Pepe on the right. That's my ideal front three. Even now, if I'm looking at the side, that's my ideal front three. But if you're moving into a 4-3-3, then I could see the benefits of putting Saka number 10 or attacking.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that. All for that.
He's a worker as well as being smart on the other side.
He's intelligent in all aspects, bro. It's like too much man are not intelligent. It's like he knows what he can. Like even I'd have him down as a skillful player, but I'd have him down as a simple player. He knows what to do and what not to do. There's no flash in the pan. That's why I think he's better than, you know, Emil Smith-Rowe and Joe. I think these guys can, you know, progress and do what they need to do, but he's better in that role because his temperament and his decision-making. Them men are too hot and cold and they're not aware of where to put the ball before they've even received it. Like, you coach a team, you know, the best midfielders are those that do things early, and Saka does that better than all these other young players. So I'm all for that kind of stuff, man.
Couple people in the comments, including South London's Finest, says, what is Smith-Rowe's position and your thoughts?
I think he's a 10, man. I think he can in time. It's been Arsenal spoken about making him into an 8 or something, but I think an 8 or 10 in long term could benefit him. I think he needs to look at someone like Jack Grealish as a sort of guide point. I know he's dropped Kevin De Bruyne, and again, that's even better than Grealish. But I think with Emil, it's a confidence thing. Like, he just needs to show more consistency. He just needs to believe in himself. He looks very much like a confidence player. And you look at him, Nelson, Joe, they're still young, but they're of the age now where you want to at least end the season in May like you've made some real progress. It just hasn't still been hot or cold because competition is filling up really quickly. Look at those wide positions. Nelson maybe if Nelson grabbed more of his opportunity, I might be being a bit unfair, but to play devil's advocate, maybe Willian doesn't come in. We might say, you know what, we've got enough depth. Obba's out there, Martinelli to come back. Maybe he doesn't. Now, I still think we sign him, but you've got to seize your opportunities. And you look at Emil, we've got bare midfielders. You know, he's adaptable. He can play out wide. So these things he can do for now. But you kind of want to shape up to what do we see you as? And did he not start against Everton, bro? He did, didn't it, last season? I don't think he grabbed his chance. Yeah, he didn't grab his chance. It's about, you're not going to get many chances realistically, Nelson, Emil and whatnot, and Joe. Just grab them when they come. Give Arteta a headache. And I don't feel any of them three consistently have. They've had patches, but they haven't.
So aside from, this question is just random of what you were talking about. Aside from Saka, Martinelli and Saliba, rank the top three in terms of who you think going to make it out of these youngsters at Arsenal.
You know I hate them questions there. What, the ones around the first team, yeah?
Yeah. Or make it two you think will make it, or your higher hopes are in them.
You know what? I'm not gonna cap, you know. I think it's literally in the balance for Eddie, Nelson, and Emil. I think it's 50-50. It might sound like I'm on the fence, but I think they're of the age, the other thing now where they've got to seize it for themselves. You can very well have futures here. Equally, you could be cast off, you know. If I had to push it, Eddie's right now is probably, out of excluding Saka, is probably the one that's kind of increased his stature in the team. I'd say Emil and Nelson, man. I think on ability don't mean nothing and potential and whatnot. I'd say them, but they've got to do what Eddie's been doing to a degree in Saka. But I genuinely feel on one hand, if you're not Bukayo Saka and you're in and around that first team, you could very well have a future. But equally, when the depth comes in and whatnot, you could go. And I can very much see all of them sold one day if they don't buck up their ideas. I don't want that to be right, but
yeah. You know what? I'd say Reece and Emil as well. I think with Williken and Ketcher, with Nketiah, you're right. He's increased his stature at the club.
Just limited, man.
Of course, he's done that because he's got more opportunity. But at the same time, if I'm seeing out of them four, Emil, Joe Willock, Eddie, and Reece, if I'm seeing in 4 years' time who will be either in the first team squad or in a rotation as backup. And I think the only ones out of the four is Emil and Reece Nelson. I don't think Willock or Nketiah have a long-term future at this club because of the quality level. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I just think that from what I've seen so far, because compared to Reece and Emil, I feel like Willock and Nketiah have had much more chances than them.
Joe's had the most chances. Surely Joe's had the most chances. Like Joe's keeping, whether it's political, whether it's training or whatever, Joe has kept man like Ozil and these players out of the team. You know, I'll give credit to Joe. You know, at some point, I liked how he was used under Wenger, ironically, in the pivot. I think the pivot is his thing. But in that 10 role, you've had Longberg, Arteta, Emre, and I might be missing out somebody, but 3 managers that know more about football than you or I. So I'm looking at it as like, okay, I can have my opinion, but you lot are more experienced, got more qualifications. You must see something in there that I can't see. So I'm desperately trying to see, and I don't see it. In the academy, I could see it, but this is the final level now. It's like the decision maker is not there. He's too blinkered, you know. There's not kicking on. And like you said, he's had the opportunities. He's contracted until 2023. If we go on what Sanye said, the next 2 years, we've got to be patterning contracts. He's out the England 21 side for whatever reason. That's the second one he ain't been. So is his place being lapped? We've brought in Partey. Xhaka is playing. Sabas has come back in a Euros year. So them men are playing ahead of you. You know, if we look at it, El Nene's got a little thing for himself now under Arteta. So it's peak for you. Now, on one hand, you're playing for Arsenal, any of these clubs, you need to relish that competition and stand up to be counted. But and I might be unfair, do I feel these lot are necessarily grabbing their chances? I don't know. I see a lot of young players that feel lucky to be here, happy in the situation. You know, it's a rare case that with context to where Arsenal are, but like five or so young players just on the cusp of the first team. Are they happy to be here or are they seizing opportunities? You know, Saka was behind Bearman at the start of the year. He's not been here to play games. You know, when I say seizing opportunities, that don't just mean goals and assists and them things there. I'd love that. But when Saka plays, he leaves an impression. You know, you might not be man of the match, but you might be like Bukayo Saka. There's not been too many games them man there can say that. You can say for me, Eddie looked good against Everton and Newcastle. Nelson looked good. I think he started against, it was either Chelsea or United at the Emirates and Liverpool as well. You know, Joe looked good at the start of the season against Liverpool. But them man there, they don't look consistently good enough, bro. So, and you look at it, how much do you think they could raise? Like, if we was to entertain their sales, like, surely that's a pretty penny of them free.
It should be, fam, obviously, but we're talking as if we got a fucking a board with any sort of, I don't know.
Because the English premium, surely.
If they're getting 23.5 for Brewster, then we can get 20 to 25 for Nketiah. Like, it's simple. We can. Will we is another story, but we can. Exactly. You know, same for the rest, but surely around the 15-20 mil mark at the minimum you can get for these players. You're giving them
surely 15-20
European experience, some of them too. You know, them tough Thursday away trips for young players. That's good experience, and some clubs don't have that. So I'm hoping we can make a pretty penny. But at the same time, I'm realistic enough to know that we're going to have to keep a couple of them in the long run. And I think the ones, aside from the Salibas, Sakas and Martinellis, Reece and Emil top the list. And a lot of people are asking, who do you think will hit the highest level, Martinelli or Saka?
Oh, that's a difficult one, man. You know, because I think Saka, it's a weird one with Saka, because as great as he is, he surprises you. It's a weird one. Like, he's clearly a quality player, but it's like, he surprises you. With Martinelli, there's just some aura about him, man. So I always change it, Saka and Martinelli, but I'm going to say Martinelli. There's just something about Martinelli. He just looks ready. It just seems like his story was destined to be a baller. He looks hungry. I think Martinelli, man, he excites me a tiny bit more than Saka, you know. As much as I like Saka and his ability to glide and whatnot, you know, Martinelli, when he gets a bit more confidence and a bit more bravado, he's going to be that Brazilian guy. Like, he can hit skills, you know, he's hungry in front of goal. Martinelli, man, just
yeah. I think I agree with you. You know, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna say Saka will probably be the one I grow to love, because I think he's gonna be an Arsenal legend. You know, and I can only hope he spends his career here. But we'll see.
Saka, if you're listening, stay here, bro. Cause we love you, man. I can't lie.
With Martinelli, I feel like he will be a top player, and I do agree with you. I feel like there's something about him that makes me think he's gonna hit the highest of highs in football, or at least get a sniff at it. So in terms of football in general, Martinelli, but Arsenal, definitely Saka has the potential to be a long-term captain at this club, let alone anything else, you know. At the same time, he's still very young, and we've seen we've seen it go pear-shaped. And you know what? We might as well touch on it because I haven't touched on it yet with Jack Wilshere. And I was a massive fan of Jack Wilshere, man, you know.
Fuck you, bro.
Like, it's proper sad to hear, like, what's happened, to hear what he's gone through, to see the change, and to realize he's not going to see the potential that we all saw in him. He's not going to realize that potential. And it's sad because he was the guy I looked at when he was breaking through as this guy is Arsenal through and through, and he's gonna be the captain at this club one day, you know. And it never happened. And at West Ham, I wished him the best because obviously, as a man, yeah, even in the parades, he gave us a classic moment, you know, singing about Tottenham from the top of the roof of the
legend.
Classic moments. Players don't do that. Do you get it? Players don't usually do them sort of things, you know, because obviously you get negative press for it too. But he loved the club so much. I think let's touch on him, man. Jack Wilshere. What do you have to say about him, man?
It's depressing, bro. But I mean, what more can I add to what you said? Like, the potential was there. You know, you don't get too many players around like that often. You know, he had the passing range. He could dribble. He was brave, because normally when you get these techie little footballers, they're not brave. They're kind of scared. Couple kicks and they're off the field. Like, I'm sure you've played against some. You know, and Jack weren't there. And maybe if Jack was a bit softer and a bit like that, you know, I have heard some people might say he's too brave for his own good. Maybe if he pulled out of tackles and whatnot, he would think he wouldn't do such. But I think injuries just ruined him. I feel, you know, I don't know his injury record, but wasn't there like the first one, from what you hear, he played on it at Arsenal or Bolton, one of them clubs. He played on it when he could have had surgery, and it's kind of together with bad luck, it's happened. It's just, he's a baller. It's just like he said, the man can't stay fit. On one hand, he still had a good career. You know, he's played for his two boyhood clubs in West Ham and Arsenal. He's won an FA Cup. He scored and played for his country. But I genuinely feel like you said, he could have been an Arsenal. He is an Arsenal, you know, a top-rated player and whatnot, but he could have been an Arsenal legend, an Arsenal hallmark. You know, he could have been a captain, maybe even for England. I feel he could have been one of the best players in the Premier League. You know, technically he's got it all, but you got to stay fit, and it sucks, man.
You know what it is? Like, when I think about it now, yeah, since like the Invincibles and whatnot, yeah, when you think about individual performances, let's say the top 5 individual performances since Invincibles, yeah, Jack Wilshere against Barcelona has to be there, because it's against Barcelona, it's against Xavi and Busquets as a U. And I think it might even be top 3, and we could debate it. I need to think of other moments from other players. But when I think about Barcelona champions,
Emirates at home or just Emirates era?
Emirates era, yeah. I think
Argentina got to be up there for 4, I guess, by that.
Yeah, that's up there, definitely. It's hard, you know.
I wouldn't put it up there with them, but perhaps Alexis Sanchez, was it a hat-trick against West Ham or something? That might be there away. Probably not up top 3.
Because of the occasion, but I get you with the individual performance. I get you. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to think.
I have to sit down and think about that one still.
That Wilshere against Barca, mad. It was mad. And I thought the player to become. But obviously, big up Jack Wilshere, man. Hopefully he can.
Apparently he's going Rangers. Well, that's what reports. So
I see it. So hopefully it works out there. But again, it's a league that's quite rough too. You know, obviously it's not as the Premier League. I think he needs to. And you're right. You know, he's a product of his own downfall at times. And you think he's so on it. He's so committed to challenges and 50-50s that's sort of partly played for what's happened in the long run. But hopefully, look, Cesc in the San Siro. There's
big performance. Ramsey, Ramsey's probably got a couple, bro. I can't even cap.
We got a couple, but I wouldn't say they're up there with what we're talking about. But the Cesc in San Siro, I definitely would. Was it Abu Dhabi versus Liverpool?
I remember a couple big boy performances from him, but I'm not sure. Have to go to VAR. That one there'd have to go to VAR. It has to. Couple comments are going VAR.
You know what? We might have to do a video on this, like.
We might, you know, we have to do some research and come again.
Yeah, it's interesting because like that's why we hold Jack Wilshere to such a high regard, man. Even in the Emirates Cup, I don't know if he was there, but Emirates Cup, we was playing Rangers and he played on the right wing. He had a volley from a corner that smashed the bar, and I was like, this 17-year-old is doing
crazy.
Fam, he was on another level at that age compared to what we see from Saka now. But obviously, that's why as much as we can rate Saka, and we need to make sure he develops well and
Needs to smooth path, don't overplay him. That's why I didn't mind when Saka went out the side. Like, I thought it was unfair to lose his spot in the team, but there's overplaying players is something serious, man.
Yeah,
See, I don't even think Chelsea versus City was his best one, but I think it's up there.
And Percy Chelsea, was that the hat trick or something?
Or was that the Andre Santos thing?
No, I swear Vampy scored a hat trick away.
Yeah.
5 Chelsea, something like that. 5 something.
Has to go to VAR. We've been so stressed on the Arsenal as Arsenal fans, and it's been so many years. All of this has to go to VAR. Someone said Theo. I don't think Theo's up there for number one, but Theo's probably got some great highlights. Giroud's probably got some too.
Definitely. Yeah, Jack's goal against Norwich too. Well, he won back-to-back goal of the seasons, isn't it? Because of our
he won the one against West Brom as well when he came back from injury.
Yeah. Well, we've got half an hour. We might as well touch it. Listen, 700 people, hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit the like button, get your questions in. I want to touch on this. Man said, I don't think it's quite up there with what
I can't like that was too. Ozil's had a couple clinics.
We're talking about
Ozil's got some clinics. Yeah,
Liverpool's. Listen.
To be fair, Ozil at Liverpool at home. To be fair,
that was a top performance from Ozil. Top performance.
Yeah. Sure, one against United as well.
It's a different thing. Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets and Guardiola is a different thing to Leicester, mate. So
no, that's why he wins it. That's why Jack, you can't like. There's nothing. Only Henry against Leeds for pure sentimental value will go ahead of it for me. Like off the top of my head.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because that was don't even.
Yeah. Or Arshavins at Anfield. Like that's
number one. That's number one. Henry's number one.
And that's pure sentiment from us. That's just pure sentiment.
My guy came back 3 shots in the whole month, and it was 3 goals, bro.
Yeah. The guy's ridiculous. I swear one goal got snaked off him as well. I think the Sunderland one got snaked. They said it weren't his.
Lads, that is his. I don't
know. His to me, but yeah, it's his team.
What they tell me, fam, that is his, bro. That was his last game. And you know what that did? Was that the one? It brought us back into top 4, and we didn't drop out of it again.
Yeah.
God, Bob, don't even remind me about these good times. You can smile and talk about good times, fam. Do you get it?
When we think about the future, it's a bit cloudy still. It's a bit cloudy.
So obviously with the future thing, there's this, what is it called? Project Big Picture, and Liverpool, Fenway Group. They've proposed, I'm sure everyone watching has heard and read about it. They've proposed a new format and a new direction for the Premier League, 18 teams, 24 teams in the 3 tiers below, money divided up a bit more freely, but the bigger clubs still make more, and the bigger clubs being the big 6. And Man United have apparently supported it. It's being offered or shown to the rest of us, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, and City. They expect us to agree too, but you've heard Rick Parry as well, the Championship CEO or chairman or whatever. He's come out.
He used to work at the Premier League.
Yeah, he's a big fan of it. Obviously, they get more money on their end, and it protects them long term. I haven't read enough about it. I probably should have before this video, but my only thing is the ownership thing. The 6 biggest clubs owning it. Yeah, it's
not fair. It's not what football's about, bro.
To me, the competition is now turned into partnerships. Do you get what I'm saying? At one point, we're all competing with each other. I don't want that team to do well. I don't want them to do well.
It's just they're protecting their interests, bro. It's like they're just protecting, because the one thing I'm loving about the Premier League, and I definitely hate it as an Arsenal fan, is like it's getting a bit like a fun fair. Like every year, it sounds cliche, but there could be a different sort of winner. You've got Liverpool and City clearly the best, but the same approach with the top 4 applies to everyone. Everyone can beat everyone. In the name of competitiveness, I don't want it. Of course, as an Arsenal fan, I would love it if we benefit from these poor rules, of course. But it's not what football's about. Football's the one sport where you don't need too much money to play it, and we're losing it. It's like I ain't done too much research, but apparently there's even something to do with the voting. When it gets cut, apparently right now you need a certain amount of votes to get something through. Apparently that might not apply to when they do these things. So that just tells me, United, Arsenal, Spurs, whatever, let's just assume the top 6, they just further want to move away from the rest of the boys. So what does that tell Wolves or Leicester or even Everton, teams that are trying to, it might be a banter thing, but West Ham, normally you'd have them as trying to get into there or thinking of getting into there. What does it do for them? Like you said, the ownership thing, that's it for me. It's just it's spooky. Like, you can veto things. You could probably stop other teams from being taken over, you know, and trying to get bigger. You can probably do things that benefit you in the transfer market. There's probably all other ways that me and you can't even comprehend it. I'm not for it, but as an Arsenal fan, of course, I'm not going to complain, but it's disgraceful, man. It's disgraceful.
Yeah, comments, I agree, and they'll destroy the game. It will be all about the money, says Jamal. Lee says it's privatizing English football. Sounds bad.
Exactly.
It does, man. Mohammed, Big Six can veto potential takeovers. That's what you just touched on, DELUDED. Yes, Big Six are just insecure. It's right. It shouldn't be done. It's already all about money. You're right. It'll be even more about money. You know, like the rich just get rich, and that's what it is. That's the word that comes to mind: greed. You know, greed, squeeze. Yeah, you're saying the right words, because that's
exactly. Never done with sporting in mind. That's why you know it's not legit. Like, you just know.
Even down to this 14.99 thing, like, it's trying to squeeze food at such a time when you're thinking, blood, you could have. I understand you, man, need money too, because you're not generating what you normally do. But it's impacted everyone. It's impacted me, you. It's impacted our parents, our cousins, friends of friends, people from our school, our work. It's impacted everyone. So this whole 14.99 thing is like, it just shows that all they care about is the money. And there was a question.
It's peace, bro. How much money do you think we got?
London Coney is the most outdated training ground at the top.
He's waxing it, man. Come on. Come on. What do you complain about?
Yeah, Coney's nice too. I can't even lie. There is parts that are outdated, but obviously when you compare it to Tottenham's thing and all that, and West Ham's, I think that's what it is. South London's fan, European Super League, because look, the League Cup being abandoned as well. It's like it reduces the games. 18 teams.
So they're on the League Cup.
Yeah, they're talking about either.
I don't even know about that one.
Scrapping it completely, or only the teams in Europe are not in it, which kind of makes sense to me with League Cup, because I've never been a fan of it anyway. It's like,
I'm not a fan of it still. I mean, I ain't won it too much. I ain't seen my team win it as an Arsenal fan in my life, actually. But it's like, I don't even agree with that card. For me, you know, I don't agree with it like you said, but I think there's an arrogance to what me and you just agreed with, in a sense of, we're in Europe or we've got bigger things to fry. We don't play this. For me, you play what's important. You know, if you've got to play a young player, so be it. It's still a trophy, but it just screams more. I don't know how, but it just, for me, like he said, scrapping the Community Shield, this just correlates to putting more effort towards making peace elsewhere. Like, I think trophies are a tradition, you know. To get rid of the Community Shield for me is upsetting, because it might not be the glamorous, but it's a typical curtain raiser. Like, I remember when it used to be Arsenal United, and we had some good little moments in that. So it's upsetting, man.
With that, fam, call it what these European teams call it, and what do they call it, the Super Cup or something?
Super Cup or something like that.
We tune into those Super Cups, and that's their Community Shield. It just
same thing, yeah, it's the same thing, literally.
It sounds a lot better. It sounds better. You get it? You turn it into that. The FA Cup winners play the league winners. The FA Cup becomes more important, because like the bigger teams are on it again, because there's no League Cup. It's just one domestic cup. Then you'll have a major Super Cup every start of the season. But scrapping it completely is like, it's narrow-minded, because you're right. It kicks off the season. We've had great moments in it. Turn it into a little something else. You can turn it into something that's more appealing. And that's the simple way to look at it. So
it builds up better. Yeah,
with that, I just don't see that, like, okay, the League Cup, I get it. There's not 2 domestic cups in all these European leagues. So
yeah. That one there, kid, I won't cry. I think it should stay, but I won't cry. The FA Cup, I'd like it to get its glamorous back, because remember, like, growing up, it was a very prestigious cup. It still is, but there was a time where people weren't taking it seriously. The only thing that I think all teams care about is genuinely Europe, because of the finances it brings. I think that's all they care about. It's just about the finances, even down to the lower end of the Premier League. Do they want to stay in the Premier League because the Premier League, or do they care about the P's, and they know it's the fact that the parachute packages and whatnot might not correlate? It's just about peas, man. And we know it's about that. It's been about that. Like, it is about that. You know, still in the coronavirus period, we spent 1.something billion on transfers. But it's just disappointing that it's becoming so blatant. Like you said with the 14.99, you already got Amazon, you already got BT, you already got all these things. And they're saying, hey, what? You have to pay for 15 quid for your team again. And the most thing is, they know we love it. So 9 times some people do it. It's a joke.
Even per month is a bit like, are you mad? 15 just for free?
Yeah, you're boying it.
Yeah, but like, and it's the games that are unattractive. It's the game that Sky and BT didn't want. So you're giving us the scraps, and you're essentially charging how much more than Sky and BT really do, because Sky and BT, as much as they're a bump, you're paying it monthly. £15 a game is a mad. That's a third of your Sky package or whatever pack, like the sports in it. £35, I think, on Sky. So, but it is what it is, fam.
You know why they don't care about them more, bro? You know why they don't care about them more, bro? Because I fit deep it, yeah. We've heard with the COVID again. I know this shit always changes, but it's meant to be 6 people or whatever it's supposed to be. Naturally, 9 times out of 10, normal people, they're gonna say, "All right, I'm not on paying £15." You know, man, them come to my house, we'll chip in, we'll make a deal of it, we'll make a meal of it. You know, pubs might even do that. So this isn't done with people's health. This is done with let's get some peas.
No, trust me, £15 is a joke. But big up Dave. If it's the Dave I know, then I know him. But big up Dynasty in Wembley Shisha Lounge. I'm not sure if it's open right now, obviously with COVID and all that. But come on, Dave. Big up DTV box as well. You already know what it is. Have you got a DTV box?
No, but I know full well where it is. I got one next Biki box in my yard.
I'll shout him for you. Shout him and I'll let him know, fam.
Calm, I need to pattern this.
Man, it's necessary. I can't even lie. Be in sports, 100. Get the likes up, people. There's over 700 people here. 40 minutes in. We'll give you another 10 minutes or so. So get your questions in and all that. But I was going to touch on the European Super League. Is it a reality now?
It's looking so, bro. I mean, I don't know when it will come in. I don't know how many years we're away from it, but it seems like everybody's on it. You know, I genuinely think if you was to ask Madrid and Barca if they were more in favor of a Super League than their own domestic league, they might look at it sideways. But I think they would do it. You know, they probably could play on that and know that La Liga probably needs them 2 clubs more than it needs us. The only league that probably, or teams that could probably live without a Super League, is the Premier League, due to, you know, the competitiveness and the randomness of the Premier League. It's a reality, man. The problem is it going to be a Super League, or is it just the big boys consistently in this? Like, is it a Super League based on sporting accomplishments and qualifying? Is it a prestigious thing? Like Arsenal in Europe, you know, we haven't got the biggest of records, but historically Arsenal have been in Europe. United historically have won it, Liverpool, etc. Is it going to be, because current day, you know, Leicester deserve to be in it? Is it a thing where you have to qualify, or is it just, what's that points tally that used to favor the best teams in Europe? Is it the coefficients or whatever? I can't remember what it is. Is it something like that or worse?
We was top 8, and we was like top 8 in Europe in terms of coefficiency, but every fucking year we was finishing just 4th. You know what I mean? Even I was baffed, because I'm like, all right, well, I'll take it, obviously, because we don't want it the other way, because as soon as it goes the other way, we're fucked.
We're in trouble.
But yeah, I don't know about all that. The way they work out is mad. But you see, the way I see it, yeah, is I can't even lie to you, yeah? We can object it, and we're going to object it. And I'm never going to agree this was the right decision to make. But when it comes in, and we're playing Barcelona's, we're playing Bayern Munich's, we're playing Real Madrid, we're playing Juventus's, and whoever else worldwide, yeah, or Europe-wide, on a regular basis, we're gonna enjoy it. We're definitely enjoy it, but like you said, it's for the wrong reasons, and then it starts to dilute the Premier League, because you create a whole league out of the European ones. It's, for example, what it's gonna be like is, let's just say Arsenal are going to win the league. Yeah, let's just say this is banter amongst fans. Arsenal are going to win the English league, and the European Super League now. Let's say Man United are going to win that. Yeah, it's the same reality. Obviously, this is dream world, isn't it? But let's say they're going to win that. It's like the argument will then be, "Oh, you just won the English league. Like we won the European thing," and it just brings that down. Whereas with Champions League and the Premier League, it's like they're both there. You know,
in their own right.
This one can't put this one down, and this one can't put this one down. And I think as an Arsenal fan, I'd much rather win the Premier League next than the Champions League. I know we missed the Champions League.
I have to disagree, Turkish. I hear you, I agree, but that one, you said a great point with the Champions League, and even for me, it confuses me. Like, is the Super League overtaking Champions League? Is it 2 separate entities? And if it is, you know, where's the credibility? The Champions League is the Champions League and has been for years, and all the ex-players, and this new thing, like you said, you're bucking all the big boys. You have to beat the big boys. There's no hiding place. So which one is better? Which one, like, if you're playing in one, do you necessarily need to play in the other? Because Bayern Munich might play against, in the Super League, they might say, hold on, why do I need to do this again? And obviously, how do you work out stuff like the what's the thing, man, that Club Cup you play, the FIFA World Club Cup or something? How do you work out who gets that thing now? Like, what happens? What do the winners of the Champions League get? You know, there's normally a place in next year's one. Like, what's the format? How is it going to tie in? You have to play in both comps, and how is that going to work over a year?
Look, Beast, I see a few people saying, "No, Champions League, no, Champions
Trust
League."
me, man. You're capping with that one, man.
You know
We
why?
ain't
You know
got
what
that.
it is?
Hmm?
I'm a big advocate of, like, listen, if we win Champions League, I'm gassed. It'll be next level. But you guys, listen, I can't wait for it to happen. I hope it happens whilst I'm alive. I hope it happens whilst my YouTube is still popping, so you guys can smile and laugh and get waved and all of that. But to be the best in Europe, you've got to be the best in England at a certain point around that Champions League win. For me, for it to hold
So
weight,
you wouldn't take a Chelsea thing, like when they won it in 2012. You wouldn't take that.
of course they use it. They use it against us, and yeah, of course you take it. You take it. But in an ideal world, I'm gonna pick one next. It's got to be, for me. It's got to be the Premier League, because I feel like even when Pep come in or Klopp come in, it was always like win the league first. When Klopp won the Champions League last year, it was like, okay, it's the Champions League, but win the league, because this is the one that we really want next. Yeah, with Liverpool it's slightly different, but with Man City it was always win the league first and then go on in the Champions League next. So
But
for me,
you don't think the chance for City was the bigger one, cause they experienced it under Pellegrini and Mancini and whatnot. You don't think like that's always been the carrot of their eyes, really? Like you said, I agree. The league is the first thing. You know, you got to run before you got to walk before you can run. But don't you think when these big boy Arab guys came in, they just thought Champions League, we're gonna make this a Champions League team. We need to win the Champions League. Like with Paris, you know, I'm sure they scream win the league title, but I want to be the big boys doing the big boy thing.
in essence, yeah, no, 100%. Champions League is up there. I just think that Premier League, not domination, but Premier League consistency is up there too. I think that's the same for Roman as well. You know, as much as they won the Champions League that year, and they finished what?
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, terrible campaign for them.
They bought Hazard straight away. It wasn't no resting on the laurels and we just won the biggest competition. It was like, are you not mad? This ain't the season we really wanted. Yeah, you won Champions League, but there's things to get done there. And he got them done. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's just, fam, I want to win the Premier League again. I want to be top of the English league and then really go into the Champions League.
I feel you on the stability thing. Like I definitely agree. Like you pattern the league, then we can talk about other things.
Yeah, we've got a super chat coming in from Salt Drummer, I think touching on the earlier debate. Big up Turkish and DG. It's sad that the only thing football wants from fans is our money. They don't care about us at all. 15 is in disgrace. Yeah, well, eat all 15 is a disgrace. It is. Listen, it's been like that for the past, essentially, how long, Deluded?
Bro, time, bro.
25, 30 years.
Yeah, you're talking, a lot more years than I've been on this earth, bro.
The whole idea of the Premier League changing as well was down to more commercialism and getting it a bit more tighter and a bit more, you know, business. That was then, you know, in 91 or whatever, whenever it was. Now, this is the same thing, essentially, just an up-to-date version, you know. So if we look back at that change fondly, we look back at it and say, yeah, but there was a lot of people at the time that opposed it. I
wasn't happy with it.
I've seen documentaries where there was people speaking out saying, "Nah, it's all for the money," and "Nah, you're taking the fans away from the football clubs." And
does that language sound any different from today? Like you could, that whole context you said, you could use that. You could ask someone, "Is that in 1991 or 2020?" And the majority of people are gonna say 2020. It's sad, bro.
Someone's just sorry. The mods are not doing their job, fam. I see someone trolling up the gaff, but yeah, 48 minutes in, people. I think I'm going to wrap it up here because I need to get something to eat too, you know. What are you telling me, bro? What are you on for the rest of the day?
Yeah, fam, I got to go out quick. I just wanted to say quickly, did you see Arsenal were asking for 40, I think 49.99 to watch Premier League games at the Emirates?
Yeah, with a beer and a pie or something.
This just tells you everything. Like I love my club, but we're not like innocent in this thing. Like what's going on?
Innocent? We are up there, blood. You think he's not signing them big money things? Anything with money on it, I will sign that. If it's a player,
yeah.
That, fam. Any deal with another business, all of this shit, he's signing all of that, fam. 49.99, even £15, fam. Europa League games are £15 to go to the Emirates. £20, £15. You're telling me to watch it at home is 15. You're telling me to go and screen it at the Emirates. And you put them on the grass, fam. You give what kind of experience are you giving?
It won't even be Cat A games as well. They'll fully shag it. They'll fully shag it. They'll fully make you pay out the nose to watch Arsenal versus Fulham at the Emirates. Fully.
Yeah, 100%. And before we do leave, people, like Daniel said, get those likes up.
Come on.
guys the intro. You know what? Before we go, there's over 800 people. I'm gonna show you the intro again. Deluded. Sorry, but I'm just gonna play
No, it's sick, man. I'm gonna get on the phone to Donny as well, man, because I need something like that, man. That's sick. That's
Ozil.co.uk. This is the new intro coming, people. I'm getting new intros for all my shows. Hence why Deluded, I said to you, we need a new name, because really the is gonna get an intro, and then we're gonna work on this one next. So when we get that name, we're gonna get the
logo. We get that name, shit can pop off.
Get something like this. But people, this is the new intro. It'll be live real soon. But here's another sneak. Come on. Every time I see it, fam, there's a handsome man just standing right there with a stroke in his beard. But it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. 40 people logged off. They wasn't feeling the beard, but it is. What are you telling me, though? When's the next one for your channel?
What Oz? What are you saying for Thursday?
Thursday, yeah. What, 6, 7 p.m., something like that? Or early?
That's blessed. Yeah, that's blessed. That's blessed.
Early, just let me know.
Up until like I got football at 8:45. So yeah, up until like 7ish, I'm flexible, bro.
5, 6. Let's say 5, 6.
Yeah, that's blessed.
Yeah. All right, people. I see all the love for that intro. Make sure you guys comment after the video process and give us some names for the show. Leon said, "Dream team." Add to that. I want to hear some names, and then me and
I'll be on that level.
Can get to work. And as soon as this, to be honest, we can start doing this thing together anyway.
2 men, 1 bid.
That's a thing.
If I could block that Tony, I'd block him, you know. Hey, I'm rattled. I want to slide tackle him out of here, fam.
Talking about slide tackle, I heard you scored the winner today, yeah?
Hey, yesterday I scored the win. I had to, fam. I slid in the box. He shouldn't slide. Brain fart, bro. I was still off the Ray and F from the other day. Hey, imagine it's 1-0. We've had a bag of chances. I've slid in. It's 1-1 from the penalty, and it's extra. There's no extra time in it. Straight to pens. My boys cleared a shot off the line. I was shook. I said, you know what? I'm going on an adventure from left back. Fortunately, the ball dropped in. It's a scruffy finish, but hey, I'll take that, man. Car. I'll go all my fault, huh?
It is what it is, fam. Scruffy finish, please. You conceded the penny, you got to make up for it, and you did it. What, 5 minutes to go? I see there.
Yeah, it's drama, fam. Drama. I don't want to be in a game like that again, but drama, bro. Drama. Hey, but that's acting fantastic, though, man.
Well done, my bro. Well done. I'm going to come check you one day and watch a match on that. But yeah, people, this has been Turkish and deluded in Turkish. I see a few names there. Big facts. Call it real, recognized, real. There's a lot of names coming through, and there's one super chat. You're lucky you call it at the end. I was about to log off. Can I collab with the next time we face each other? Chelsea fan, listen. Remind me when we're playing Chelsea. Remind me the week before we're playing Chelsea, and we'll work something out. We'll work something out. But people, love for tuning in. Hit the like button. Do all of that stuff. Share it. Let us know what you want us to call it. Until the next.